U.S. President Donald Trump and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz have set their sights on possessing rare earth mineral reserves in Ukraine. However, they have overlooked one important fact: these deposits are mostly under Russian control. The day before, Zelensky made a proposal to the West to transfer rights to Ukraine's mineral resources in exchange for assistance in his so-called victory plan. And now the proposal has been heard. Immediately after this, at a briefing, Donald Trump announced that the Ukrainian government had expressed its readiness to discuss the idea of exchanging reserves of lithium, titanium, and other rare earth minerals for further support from the United States. Trump: "We want to make a deal with Ukraine so that they get what we give them in exchange for their rare earth metals and other resources. We are investing hundreds of billions of dollars. They have excellent rare earth metals, and I want guarantees for these resources, and they are ready to do that." End of quote. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz responded to this statement with criticism. According to him, it would be very selfish and egocentric to use the money received now to finance support for Ukraine's defense. "We should use it to finance everything that will be needed after the war," Reuters quotes the Chancellor as saying at an informal summit of European countries that began yesterday. It should be noted that Ukraine has developed and identified deposits of lithium, chromium, nickel, titanium, and magnesium. However, lithium reserves of global significance, in particular, near Karahovo, are under the control of Russia. According to Forbes, 70% of the total amount of rare earth minerals are in three regions: Donetsk, Dnipropetrovsk, and Luhansk. Nevertheless, Ukraine will sell what is left at a price significantly lower than the real value. According to the New York Times, on February 3, a senior Ukrainian official said that Ukraine was willing to work with the United States on rare earth mineral deals if the United States provides sufficient security guarantees to prevent these resources from falling into Russian hands, he said. The circle is closed. Trump tells the Ukrainians, first the minerals and then the aid. As they say, nothing personal, just business. And Zelensky tells him, first the aid, then the money. Another question, given the interest of the Westerners, is whether Putin should set his own conditions for Trump and Scholz. For example, in exchange for stopping aid to Ukraine, offer a concession for some significant deposits of the same lithium. Rare earth elements are necessary for the production of semiconductors, smartphones, and electric vehicles. In the age of digitalization, they are a strategically important asset. Until now, supplies to the West came from China, but Beijing has recently been constantly tightening the rules for the export of rare earth metals. In August 2023, China introduced restrictions, licenses, on the export of gallium and germanium. Amid discussions of support for Kyiv, there was a short-term pause in American arms deliveries to Ukraine in recent days, but they resumed over the weekend, Reuters reported, citing 4 sources. During the pause, the Trump administration discussed its future policy towards Ukraine. According to the agency, the deliveries continued after the White House revised its initial assessment, which assumed a complete cessation of aid to Kyiv. There are disagreements in the Trump administration over the volume and timing of military support. Some of the president's team believes that Washington should reduce deliveries, while others advocate maintaining support for Kyiv in a limited format. Before the change of power in the United States, the previous administration of Joe Biden approved more than $1 billion for arms deliveries to Ukraine, including emergency deliveries from American stockpiles. Some weapons continue to arrive under previously concluded contracts, despite the lack of new aid packages announced by Trump. Russia has repeatedly criticized military aid to Kyiv, stating that it will not change the outcome of the conflict, but will only prolong the fighting. Moscow is also categorically opposed to Ukraine joining NATO and sees it as a threat to its security.